So today we are going to be working on this beautiful peasant top for our dolls. I hope you'll come and join me. So I have all my pieces cut out, so the next thing that I'm going to do is take them to the iron, and we've got our piece of cardboard, and we are going to fold the arms down 1/4 of an inch, and then we're going to fold them down another 1/4 of an inch like that, and then iron them right nice and flat so they're on those lines like that. We are going to do the same with the bottom of our bodice. We're going to fold them down 1/4 of an inch, and then we're going to fold the whole thing down another 1/4 of an inch like that. And we will do exactly the same with our strip. We will just fold it down 1/4 of an inch, and then another 1/4 of an inch all the way along. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the iron and do that. So I've done all that, and I've got that one folded and all these folded. Okay, so put the arms and everything. We're going to stitch them down, and then we're going to stitch the lace on them. And whilst we're at the machine, we will stitch this piece along here like that. Once we finish stitching these pieces, we'll stitch this piece together, and the same on the other arm. We'll stitch those two pieces together like that, and then we will stitch this piece so that the seam there is on the outside, so that your fold is on the outside there for your bottom, your hem. And then we'll stitch this all the way down here like so, and we'll stitch this all the way down here like so. And then we will take our arms and we will pin them on so that they are pinned on to the inside of there, and we will stitch around there as well. So we will do that on both arms whilst you're at the machine. Okay, you see both arms. So just before you start, what you want to do is just check that you've definitely got your stitches all in the right position. Okay, and we're just going to come along. I'm going to do a back stitch and then a straight stitch and then a back stitch at the very end. Back stitch, and then right to the end. Okay, I'll do a back stitch again to finish that one, and then just to carry on, we'll just carry on stitching. And can you see I've got my needle really close to that end of that where you're doing your hem there. Do back stitch. There we go. Right, take that one, and then we can do our great big long piece. Exactly the same. Just lift that up. Look at that, just going over the top. There we go. Okay. Back stitch. Okay, and I'm going to go all the way to the end now. bodice, before we actually stitch the bottom down, what I'm going to do is just run along here, from here, and I'm going to come in at 3/8 of an inch, back stitch, and then run all the way down. So you got those, you want to pull those two pieces you folded up down for a minute. So just do your back stitch. Okay, and then just lift that off. Do exactly the same on the other side. Okay. There we are. So I'm just going to line those two up. Get that just underneath there like that. Make sure those are lined up. So I like to come on a little bit first, and then back stitch. And I find that it doesn't push that fabric down into that hole when you do that. And you're going to do a back stitch anyway. If you're going to do couture and you're going to tie it off, you can't really do that. You need to do it from outside, but because we're doing it with a back stitch, that works okay. Okay, right, so we've got those pieces done. Just going to lift that off, and then I'm going to come around, and if you do it like that, you'll find that will get rid of that tiny seam on the sidelet, so you won't see that at all as you go around. Okay, I'm just going to slip my box off so that we can get around a bit easier. So we decide which way you want your seam to go, and we're just going to come in and we're going to stitch. Actually, before we do that, let's tell you what we will do. We'll do a zigzag around the side, neaten it up. Just put it there and just change my stitch to zigzag stitch. Looks a bit like a lightning-y, zigzaggy shape. Back stitch, and the back stitch will stop it from unravelling. Okay, and then come all the way down. This will just keep it looking neat on the inside. Back stitch. Same again. Grab my scissors. Just keep using the other thing to cut it. Sorry, just nudged the camera. That'll stop all those edges coming out, and that'll just keep it looking neat there. We'll do exactly the same on the other side. Now, if you wanted to, you could do a French seam here. It's entirely up to you. We want it to be sitting so that those stitches are on the edge of the fabric there. Okay, and then reverse back stitch, just there. Okay, right, and then make sure you turn your stitches back to your ordinary stitch before you stitch anything else, otherwise you'll be zigzagging. If you are using a 1/4 inch foot, because everything we should be doing on here should be a 1/4 of an inch. I know I said to do it 3/8 and it should have been a 1/4. Sorry about that. Everything on this should be a 1/4. On doll's clothes we always make it 1/4 of an inch. So sorry if I said a 3/8 earlier. Okay, oh, amateur. Okay. Going to come on. We're going to pop that down, and we're going to come all the way around. So I'm just going to turn my stitch back, put that underneath, and you should be able to get that to lay nicely. And that will just get rid of those edges on the bottom. Back stitch, and then all the way around. This is a nice, simple top, really easy to make. Oh, the dolls look so cute in it. Keep going. Just finished there with the back stitch. Okay, lift that out. I'm just going to cut those 2 threads. Right, and now we're going to add our lace. Let's put that one to one side for a minute because we're not putting lace onto that piece. If you want to put lace onto it and you've got enough lace, you can put lace around the bottom of it if you wish to. I am not going to do that because I am going to just do it around the arms and the collar, the same as we've done on our main dress. Okay, so I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to just put it on like that. So I'm just going to run my lace right the way along. Now you can pin this on if you wish to. I'm just going to do it like this. It's pretty straight. Sorry, I've knocked the camera again. Sorry. So I've re-threaded my needle. And I'm just going to come on there, and I'm going to do it really slow because I want to keep these stitches, and I don't want that moving down. I want to sort of keep my line of stitching just along here. I want it to be even all the way. So I'm just moving it to make sure that that's staying in exactly where I want it to be. And my needle is going there, and what the lace is doing, it's wanting to pull this way all the time. So it's just trying to keep it on there, and I'm using my finger to sort of hold it in place. Now, if you're nervous, you can put pins in it. Okay, and that would help. But I think you should be able to get away with doing it like this. Yeah, it's definitely pulling right down. Oh, it's not too bad. And then do a back stitch, and then we're going to put the next one on. So I'd like everyone to think of me in the week if you can, because I'm going to have my very last cancer treatment. I'm quite excited. I did say to my husband, should we do something special? He said, oh, I suppose we could go out and have something to eat if you like. I was like, alright, okay. Yeah, like, oh, that's exciting, isn't it? Obviously, I wouldn't want that. I just sort of thought once it's over, it would be really good. Yeah, to do something to celebrate, like, you know? Back stitch. And then come forward and we'll put the last piece on. There we go. I quite like this lace. It's not a gathered lace, but I think it's sort of, it will be nice for this because it's sort of something a bit different. It's like a cottony lace. I thought, I think that's going to be just a little bit different. Obviously, I couldn't use the same one as I did on the girls' dresses because it was 1.5 inches, and that would have made this look massive. So I went through my box, and I went through and saw what I had, and I saw this one, and I thought, oh, I really like that. I think I might use that. And we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. You can always change our mind and unpick it. But I quite like the look of it on here. It's looking nice. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to take that off. my little scissors, cut that one there. Let's cut this one. So you might have to cut these twice just to get so that's straight. So that's a straight end on that one, and I'll just get a straight end on this one. Cut into something this side. So there's a nice straight end on that one. Straight cut these two pieces. One and two. Okay, right. So we've got our two arms and we've got our long piece. Now our long piece I'm just going to put to one side once I've cut it. Alright, and we're just going to work on these two arms here. I'm just going to get rid of these. Can you see what happened when I pulled that just now? That all came unravelled. Try not to do that if you can help it, because you can see now that's gone down. It's not too much, it's about 1/8 of an inch, but I've lost about 1/8 of an inch of my fabric. So if you can try not to do that, it's best not to. Okay, just straighten that one up. Right, and I'm putting that one to the side. We've got our two little sleeves and we're just going to come in. I'm going to fold them together like that. And just stitch right down onto the lace and then back again. We're going to do this at 1/4 of an inch. So your lace might not quite match up, but that's okay. And then all the way down. Now, I've not put my 1/4 of an inch foot on to do this because I've measured on my thing. I don't know if you can see, there's a little mark there where 1/4 of an inch is. Can you see it there? I just got a blade and marked the piece of plastic on there where 1/4 of an inch should be, measured it on a ruler on the table, and then made a little mark where 1/4 of an inch should be. The reason why I haven't done that is because I can do this. As soon as I finish doing my long piece, I can turn to a zigzag stitch and I can zigzag right across. Back stitch. And then all the way down. If you've got a 1/4 inch foot on, you can't do your zigzags on the 1/4 inch foot because it will break your needle. Because obviously you've only got a small hole on your 1/4 inch foot. And that would break your needle trying to do a zigzag on there. I'm going to cut that long piece of thing off the lace there and then just neaten that. There we go. And do the same with that long end there and that long end there. Okay, so always make sure that you've got on your wide mouthed foot when you do a zigzag. So make sure you could change back now for the next one. Put it on at your 1/4 of an inch. Okay, change back to your ordinary stitch. Come on. Back stitch. And then come all the way down. And back stitch. And come down. Take no notice of my machine making those strange noises it makes. It just does that. It's really old. Brilliant machine though. I've had it a long time, but I wouldn't advise buying one of these now because you can't get anyone to repair them or service them. In the UK I've got to go miles and miles to get it serviced, so probably it's not a good idea getting one unless you live close to somebody who services. So always look and see if there's a couple of places online near where you live to make sure that there is somebody who will service your machine. Okay, and do a back stitch. And run all the way down with your zigzag. There we go, and back stitch again. There we go. Okay, lift that one. Cut that one. Just cut off any edges, long ends which might be there.